Hello and welcome to the next lesson on how to play craps. In the first lesson, we learned about the pass line and the basic way to play craps. In this lesson, we're going to focus on the other things on the board: the come, the field, and the don't pass line. Let's start with the don't pass line. The don't pass line is just like the pass line, except that everything is reversed. In the pass line, the come out bet, that is the bet when the puck is on off, has it so that if you roll a 7 or 11, you win, and a 2, 3, or 12, you lose. But if you put your money on the don't pass line, it's exactly the opposite. A 2, 3, or 12 on the come out roll wins, and a 7 or 11 loses. And once the point is made, it's just like a pass line, but in the reverse. Instead of the point being made, you want a 7 to come up first. So let's put $100 on the don't pass line and roll the dice. So now the point is 6. Normally on a pass line, you would want to roll the 6 again to win. But in don't pass, it's just the opposite. You want a 7 to come up before a 6 comes up. So let's roll again. 7. So in this case, you win. Now, most people come up to the crap table and play on the pass line. Why play the don't pass line? Sometimes craps can be a communal game where everybody plays together. And then there's the one person playing the don't pass line. It's like he's betting against the table. But if you feel like the numbers just aren't going to come up and a lot of people are going to crap out and you don't want to walk away from the crap table, play the don't pass line. Now, the field line is actually a very simple bet. The field line is literally a one-roll bet to see if those numbers come up. You see a 3, a 4, a 9, and on this roll, if one of those numbers come up, you win. If one of those numbers don't come up, you lose that bet. Now, there's also a 2 here and a 12 here, and this 2 pays doubles. So if you get double ones, yes, you'll win double. We'll roll the dice. It's a 9. So we won that field bet. To me, a field bet is sort of like going up to a roulette table and betting red or betting black. If you do the math, however, with 2 dice, you actually do learn that there are less chances of rolling a field bet than not rolling a field bet. So to me, a field bet is a bit of a sucker bet. It really is just for a person who wants to come in, throw a bunch of money down on one roll and see what happens. Now let's get to my favorite part of craps. The come bet is my favorite bet because when you're playing the pass line and you're waiting for your number to come up, for example, my number now is 9. It can take a lot of rolls for that number to come up. And I like the idea of maybe making additional bets while I'm waiting for my pass line to either win or lose. And that's where the come bet comes in. After the point is made, in this case, the point's 9, by putting money on the come bet, it's almost like you're starting another pass line bet. So I've just put $100 on that come line. And so even though I'm waiting for a 9 from my pass line bet, putting this money on the come line starts the whole process over again. If on the very next roll I get a 2, 3, or 12, I'm going to lose that. If I get a 7 or 11, I'm going to win that. And any other number becomes one of the numbers that I need to roll again. So let's roll. So I got an 8, and as you can see now, my come bet was moved to the 8. So now not only do I have the pass bet on the 9, but I'm also have a come bet on the 8. Either one of those numbers pays off for me. And what's great is I can make another come bet and keep going. I could potentially have every number on the board going. Now there's a few things you need to know about this. One is if you roll a 7, all of your numbers lose. If I was to roll a 7 right now, I would win the come bet, but I would lose these 2 bets, my pass bet and my first come bet on the 8. But in this case, I didn't, and now I've got money on the 6, the 8, and my pass on the 9. And you could literally keep going. So now what's happened is I've won my pass line, but my come bet has been moved up to the 9. So where this game starts to become interesting now is that every roll to me is starting to become relevant. Now, even though my number was hit on the pass line, my come bets still have to either be won or lost. Either the number needs to come up or a 7 needs to come up. So in the meantime, they just stay up there waiting to either win or lose. And I'll start another pass bet and we'll roll. And in this case, I got a 9, so my come bet on the 9 won, and now my pass blind bet is back on the 9, and I can start another come bet and keep going. And now I've got the 4 in play, start another come bet. And now I've got a 10 going. I ultimately create a situation where as long as 7 doesn't come up and numbers keep coming up, I could start winning money every roll. There, the 10 paid off, but now that the new 10 comes up. Now I've got a lot of money on the board. I literally have every number covered. The 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 are my come bets. My pass line bet's the 9, and notice I'm putting more money on the come. 2, 3, or 12, unfortunately, is a loss. So that's the only downside of a comeback. So there's the 6, that comeback on the 6 1, and I've started a new one. 8, and it just keeps going. To me, a comeback is a way, if the table is hot, to start really rolling in a lot of money. And so 7 came up and everything lost. But I made enough money during all of those rolls that I did fairly well. So that's how to play the come. Now you'll notice there's a don't come. Well, the don't come is exactly the same as the don't pass, except it's the don't come bet. So that's how to play the pass, the don't pass, the field, and the come lines. Keep watching my videos because I want to get into the odds and I want to get into the hard ways, that the high paying doubles and extra rolls you can do in the center. Thanks for watching.